can share is my personal experiences, because that I'm most confident with, what Aradhya ji spoke about. So I was born into a family where we performed a lot of rituals, dharmic practices. That's what I was born into. That's what I saw during my childhood. That was my formative years. And that was a small town. Then I was taken to Bombay, the big city, Mumbai, where I went to a big school. Those were the years where I kind of tried to understand what is cool and what is not cool. So yes, I did have my, the rituals and the dharma and everything that was being followed. My roots, I feel, were with me during the cool phase as well. But somewhere I feel when we go to school and we see other people, and that's the time where our mind is developing, we start to slowly, take our roots out of the soil. We pull our roots out, even though it's hurting us. We're not realizing it. We're hurting ourselves, but we are pulling our roots out slowly, day by day. Every day we are pulling our roots out of the soil, out of the earth. And then that tree which was still and rooted, so strong, silently doing its work, silently staying connected to the earth, to the soil, being humble, being grounded. Suddenly we want to fly. The tree wants to fly. The tree wants to run. It's okay. We can do that. I did that. The big cities can make you think that life is about earning money, making a successful life, looking better than the next person than the person sitting next to you. Life can be about all these things. Comforts, power, money. I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm right. I'm the only one who's right. So slowly, you pull your, as I said, you pull your roots out and you start running and you start flying, and you think that that's it. You've made it. When you think you've made it, I think that's when your soul starts to stir. That's when the soul starts to stir. And it starts asking you questions. It starts knocking. And when it knocks, your body hurts. Your heart hurts. You feel heavy. What does that mean? That means you feel you have everything. You're the king of the world. Achievements. I have achieved this. I have achieved that. I wanted this. I got this. Oh, my mother will be so proud. Oh, my friends will be so happy to see me here. Oh, everyone will be so proud of me. That's what life is made up of now, right? But when your soul is stirring inside, what do you feel? You feel empty because you have not filled your soul. You filled your ego. You have filled up your ego, but your soul is lying empty within your body. So there was a point in my life where somebody told me, "Oh, you're depressed." I think that's the fad right now, right? It's depression is something so many people are dealing with. But and then someone told me, "You please go to a psychiatrist." I went to the psychiatrist. I sat down, and then the psychiatrist is asking me questions about myself, my childhood, my life. And I said, hold on. Something is wrong here. Why am I paying someone so much money to answer questions about myself? Why? It's my life. I should know what my childhood was like. I should know what my growing up years were like. I should know what my family is like. I should know what I want to do with my life. And then I never went back. My friends told me, please go. I said, I'm really not interested. Yes, it hurts. Something hurts. I can't figure out what it is. What is it that's hurting inside? What is it? What is this empty feeling? How do I fill it up? It's my question about what I'm feeling, and it's my life, and I need to understand it. And I was young. I was young, and no one understood. I felt no one understood. So I felt I need to talk to myself instead of talking to someone who doesn't know me. And then let's spare the details, but for 10 days I went within. Whatever it was that I was doing, I stopped it. I said, stop, full stop. This is important. Okay? I don't want to go to work. I don't want to talk to relatives. I don't want to talk to friends. I want to go within. I want to know what is happening. What is hurting? What's hurting inside? I need to fix that. That's priority. And once I said this to myself, there was a way that was shown. And that way was going into myself, going within. And going within is miraculous. It is the only way. We're so confused, we're so lost. Why? Because we don't know ourselves. We don't know ourselves. You have to stay quiet. And you have to go within. It's only when you go within and you just sit and don't do anything for as long as you want. Mine was 10 days. It could be whatever for you all. But it's so important to do that. To come to terms with, number one, that you're hurting. Number two, there's so much happening around us, and even those 10 days were not enough. I'm not saying I got enlightened on the 10th day or anything like that. No. There's no enlightenment here right now. But there is a clarity. There is a path. I always say there are two ways. You got to choose one, and you got to stick to it. When I saw my path, I stuck to it. I said, this is it. This is my clarity. You have to go on this path, no matter what. So, what I realized, there were many things I realized. One of the most important things I realized after those 10 days was, you have to know yourself. And how do you do that? By surrendering to life. We want to engage in everything. We want to please everyone. We want people to see us in a certain way. We want so many things. We want. But do we surrender? When you surrender is when life shows you the path. When you surrender, life will take you through that, the sea of emotions. You'll cross that. But you have to surrender first. That's the first step. You surrender. So anyway, I surrendered. And now the story kind of gets happier. I would like to tell Ayansh and Gorita that now this is the story of how I met your father. The 10th day, I knew who I had to call first. That was my first clarity. Who did I have to call first? Sorry mom, sorry dad, I had to call my best friend, my brother. So he was the first person I called. Then okay, and I did it. I did the 10 days, I did it. And then we spoke. It was so wonderful. It was so joyful, joy at its purest sense. And then he said, oh, you know something? I have met somebody and I think I would like you to meet them. I said, for what? He's like, you told me that you want to get married, right? And I said, okay. So when I came back, I had gone to the mountains, by the way. So when I came back, I said, okay, let's go. Things started coming up. And I just going, like how Radhaji said, just grab the opportunities that come in front of you, right? So you go on that path that comes in front of you. My brother, the one I trusted the most, I loved the most, and with the blessings of my mother and my father, I went and met Suyashji. And there I met Maharajji, I met Mataji, I met Radhaji, I met Shruti, I met all these wonderful people. And I didn't know, to be very honest, in the beginning, I always say what I was getting into. I always say that. But when I spoke to Maharajji, I was just staring at him. He was speaking so beautifully. He was so wonderful, full of knowledge. Knowledge for me was so imperative. Because I surrendered to knowledge, I felt an instant attraction. Now I can make sense of things. I felt an instant attraction. And then Suyashji, he looked like Buddha. Silent as ever. I said, okay, it wasn't then and there, but I was very intrigued. And then slowly, and then my brother asked me, he's like, okay, what is it? It's a yes, because in this Indian system, you have to like say yes or no. I said, I can't say yes or no, but I'm not saying no. So give me some time here, okay? See, one thing I had understood that things that you do fast, like, fast food and fast lot of things, is the way towards the devil in many, many faiths. And when you go slow, you just live the moment, live every day, for what it is. You get better answers. You get better pathways to the choices. Just go slow. In this fast world, we really need to try and go slow. So, we spoke, I spoke a lot. And Suyashji just stayed quiet. So it was very refreshing to meet a man like that. Anyway, so then what happened is it was a few months that this was happening, and then my family kept asking and all of that, and one day my brother's like, I don't think Suyashi is interested in you, by the way, because he hasn't said anything to Mataji, and are you interested? Then I called him. I called him 20 times. He never picked up my phone. I said, okay, that's it. That means he's really not into me. And my heart was beating really fast. I didn't like that feeling. So that day, when he called me back and he said, what happened? Why have you called me 20 times? I said, okay, now I figured out I do want to marry you. That's why I was worried. So, I don't think something so beautiful would have happened if I would have stayed stuck to my, Hitler kind of ways. Sorry. Anyway, so that was the story. Now the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, you need to surrender. That is number one. Number two, knowledge. The blessings of Ma Saraswati, and here Shri Mataji, I must say, is so important. Knowledge is everything for me, personally. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge led me. My desire, see, your desire can also be good. My desire for knowledge led me into something beautiful. And then we got married. So when to everyone here, I know there are men, women, boys, girls, young boys and girls especially, are grappling with this thought that, should I become modern? Or should I go back to my roots, go back to traditions? There's so many people who's confused right now. That what should I do? Should I balance both? Should I completely go towards traditions? Should I completely go towards modern? Just surrender. Just follow your heart. It comes to the basic of that. Just stop fighting life. Start living life. You want to get married? Make that decision and let God lead you. Let Guru Maharaj's blessings lead you. You don't want to get married? Don't get married. Life can be beautiful either ways. But you have to make it beautiful. You cannot say, okay, I'll get married, but then I'll destroy the other person's life while I do so. You make that choice, you stick to it, unwavering faith, right? We need to have unwavering faith. I understand. When you take a decision, when you get into it, whatever decision you've taken, you'll be challenged. It's like meditation. When you sit for meditation, when I sat for meditation, my mind was going everywhere. My guru kept telling me, just breath. Okay, at least focus on breath, right? You focus on breath, again your mind is gone. Again you come back to breath, again your mind is gone. So it was very, very frustrating, but it's okay. Be patient with yourself. Please don't fight with yourself, with everyone around you. Just be patient with yourself. Have faith. It will happen. Have faith. So if you get married, have patience with yourself, with your husband, with your wife, with the family that you are into. If you don't get married, have patience with yourself, with the people you are working with. Have patience with people around you, your friends, your family. Have patience with that. So I feel, because I surrendered, I realized the importance of knowledge. And because I realized the importance and my desire towards knowledge, it led me to love, not just for my partner, but for his family and for this entire family that we have now. And for the whole world, the society, there's so much love now. Once you stop fighting life, there is so much love out there. Surrender to that love. Surrender to the Guru Maharaj Ji that shows you the path, that shows you the light. We don't have a handbook to life, but we do have a Guru Maharaj Ji who can lead us into life through darkness. So, just one other thing. It's so important to understand that society is built on the friendship of a feminine and a female and a male, a feminine and a masculine. Society is built on that, on the balance. Society is built on that friendship, that you take care of a few things, I'll take care of a few things, and things will work out. That's how society was formed. It was not formed by one man or one woman. You know, I love the jungle. I love the forest. When you go into a forest, when you hear a tiger roar, is it a male tiger roaring or a female tiger roaring? It could be any, right? It could be any. We can't tell the female tigress that you are a woman, don't roar. Can you? We cannot. A man is going to roar, a woman is going to roar. Our Mataji is so loving, so loving, so loving. But when she roars like a tigress. And don't go by Radhaji's sweet looks. See, everyone will roar. But you don't go to a jungle and you hear a tiger constantly roaring. Do you go to a jungle and hear ha, 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 ha? Do you? No. The tiger roars when it is meant to roar. When it needs to roar. The society we are living in, the chaos we are living in, we all believe we are tigers, but we are continuously roaring. There's a continuous roar in our minds, in our ears. See, you associate yourself with a tiger, that's fantastic, but be like a tiger. Be like a tiger. Stay within. Stay within. Stay within. Only when it's the time, the right time, that's when you roar. So do not forget that power that you have within. But at the same time, use it only when it's required. Power is not meant to be grabbed all the time. Power you already have. You use it when it's needed. So stay within. Think like a tiger. And when I got into this beautiful family, I surrendered. I surrendered to Maharaji and Mataji. I surrendered. I said, you lead the way. And Suyashji. I said, you lead the way. You all are my gurus. Through them, I learned what love is. Even for my parents, who I would blame for everything under the sun. I would say, you're wrong in this, you're wrong in that, you're bad, you're this, you're that, look what you did to me, look what happened, look, all sorts of things I said to them. But when I found surrender, when I found knowledge, when I found love for everything. And we all can find love for everything. And Guru Maharaj Ji can show us that, Sri Mataji can show us that, and I'm so happy. And I have so much love and so much gratitude for everyone sitting on this stage and to all the Baijis and Mahatmajis for constantly, if I waver a little bit, bring me back, bring me back, bring me back. So the same thing goes for all of you. You all are confused, just do bhajan. You are confused, you are lost, just do satsang. Just listen to satsang. You are sitting in such a wonderful space. You are sitting in such a beautiful place. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. So, thank you so much. This is my first time in Orlando Ashram. My first time, Ayansh ji's and Gaurita ji's first time. So we are very happy. We've not interacted with many people here, but very nice to see all the lovely faces. Thank you so very much for having us here. And thank you so much. Sabhi ko dua Ashirwad.